Hello viewers, good day. Today we're going to discuss about epidemics versus pandemics. We know that we can't deny the facts that actually our countries facing difficulty about this kind of diseases. We talk about epidemic loss is an outbreak of disease. And what is an outbreak of disease? That attacks many peoples at about the same time and may spread through one or it might be several communities. That is what we call an epidemic. Remember class, epidemic is what we call typically used to describe matters about our health. Whereas a pandemic, when an epidemic spreads throughout the world, infectious diseases are diseases that you can catch. That is what we call pandemic. Throughout or spreading throughout the world.
Like USA.
Like in USA, China, like that. Okay. Canada, that is what we call throughout the world. Especially today class, here in our country we are facing about a very controversy or a very what we call epidemic, which is the outbreak of in COVID virus or coronavirus. What are the examples of pandemic or epidemic diseases? But before that class, remember, epidemiology is the branch of medicine that deals with the incidence or distributions and control of diseases. So for example, just like what I said earlier, in the United States, the main body collecting and overseeing this data is the Centers for Disease Control and Preventions, or CDC. Among its functions of CDC is tasked with directing the appropriate response to a disease occurrence. Again, the following examples of pandemic or epidemic diseases are chikungunya, cholera, a kind of waterborne disease, a Crimean or Congo hemorrhagic fever, Ebola virus diseases, Hendra virus infection, influenza, that is very pandemic class throughout the world, or seasonal zoonotic, Lassa fever, Marburg virus disease, meningitis, MERS-CoV, monkeypox, Nipah virus infection, novel coronavirus 2019, and CoV today class. We are continuing struggling about this kind of disease. We are what you call discovering the right prevention on how to care of, on how to protect ourselves against this virus. We know that this particular novel coronavirus is what you call greatly affect in our society. Greatly affect not only in our society, but in our livelihood as well. Next is plague, Rift Valley fever, SARS, smallpox, Thalassemia, yellow fever, and Zika virus disease. And what are these, Teacher Ram, about this virus? Are they contagious? Are they what you call spreading throughout the world? Yes. This kind of diseases are what we call pandemic. It's just because it's throughout the world. Whereas when you see it epidemic, that means to say this is an outbreak of disease that attacks okay, many peoples of course, but at the same time spreading through one or several communities. Whereas pandemic class, it's spreading throughout the world, not only here in Philippines, but in Canada, Australia, USA, Thailand, China, all of that. That is what we call pandemic throughout the world. Epidemic again, it's what we call spreading through several communities only. That is the difference about epidemics and pandemics, my dear students. So now we are going to tackle about the different what we called examples of these particular diseases. Say for example, class is what we call the word plaque. Okay, what do you mean by this chair? Okay, say for example, this plaque or a bubonic plaque. This word plaque means to say class. It is what we call a disease from animals. It may be a rats, Say for example, absolutely class, it's rats urine. This is what we call a bubonic plague. It means to see several or thousands of people die just because of this, what you call a kind of epidemic. This is an outbreak of disease. It comes from rats. And next, SARS. Of course, the SARS, remember class, the severe acquired, okay, diseases rather. It's what we call it destroys our immune system also. Just like novel coronavirus, it's a type of virus that kills thousands of lives that we need to protect ourselves in order to avoid spreading this kind of diseases. So remember class, so that's why we're going to discuss about the different kinds of pandemic and epidemic diseases so that we, or not only us, we are what you called aware of this kind of diseases and how to avoid spreading. And we have first several what we called prevention,
especially in COVID.
especially now class about nCoV or novel coronavirus 2020. Here we go. The first preventions we have, know how it spreads. That means to say it is the ways which to prevent illness is to avoid being exposed to this virus. By how? This virus is thought to spread mainly from person to person. So between people who are in close contact with one another within about 6 feet. So that's why our program today, it's have first what you call distance relationship with each other. We have proper distance to avoid spreading this type of viruses. Next, we need to clean our hands often through using what we call different types of soaps. So last, we need to clean it thoroughly. We have to, was it 20 seconds? I think, yeah. To clear what we call articles, the bacteria or the germs also. Next is avoid close contact, person to person like that. So we need to, what you call, the stay away from each other. So do not close to each other. Stay home if you are sick. So for example, you have a fever, cough. When you have a cough, when you sneeze like that, you have to cover your mouth. Remember, when covering our mouth, just like that, we don't want to spray that to others, of course. We just want to protect others, not to carry our germs to others. Cover cough or sneezes. Wear a face mask if you are sick. So remember class, this is very much important when you wear a face mask. Why? Because this is what we call a one way to prevent or what we call to avoid spreading the nCoV virus class. Another, clean and disinfect. Meaning to say, when you say it, clean and disinfect, we are responsible to clean our environment, not only inside of our house, inside and outside of our house. We should clean it every seconds or every after we use our things. We should wash it properly, then use alcohol. That's a good way. So proper hygiene, of course. We need to bath it every day. Then right after, if you are outside, of course, you are going to what we call remove your clothes, your shoes, your foot socks, etc. And then put some alcohol. Or else, the best way is you are going to wash your hands thoroughly with different types of soaps. As well as you do it, proper hygiene, clean your surroundings, then we can fight against that kinds of nCoV virus.
More protein.
And then, remember my dear students, you have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and take vitamins every day. And of course, sufficient rest and stay away from many people. So, again, the best way is you have to stay in your home, then to avoid what you call catch about this kind of diseases. This is a very much what you call rampant today, and we can't see it, the virus. All we have to do is proper hygiene, of course, Eat a lot of variety foods like vegetables and fruits. Okay, especially today class, banana is very good, what you called a cure against coronavirus or in COVID. But I think there is no science that tells that banana is good for us. But it's boost to our immune system. To boost our immune system is that we are going to eat a lot of healthy, especially vegetables and fruits, my dear students. So hope this video helped you a lot in doing this what we called okay in tackling about epidemics and pandemics. All you have to do is to follow our what you called some examples and preventions against nCoV virus today. Hope my dear students, viewers, you get a lot from my short tutorial. If you are new here in my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're updated in my latest videos. Bye-bye and God bless and so long my dear students. See you in my next videos. Bye-bye. God bless us.